All right, we're on installment 3 here. We're going to look at a little jumping. Maybe I'll do throws here too to get 3 and 4 done. So we did the dynamic warm up. We've done the sprint work. Now we're going to talk a little bit about how I like to jump and how I like to throw. Start with a snap down from the ground. They just snap into place. It's into an athletic stance. They're on the balls of their feet. Right, do this for 3. Right, so when they snap down, their arms should come down. They should be in an athletic stance. They could have weight evenly distributed so they can go left and then go right. Work that for 3. Progress this to a snap down. So you snap down into a rocket jump. You jump straight up in the air and then you snap back down. Right? So it's snap, jump, snap. So you get, so you're just working that snap again out of that jump. They should try to jump as high as they can from that athletic position and then land back in that snap down, like I said. We're looking at quality landings. Again, I like to do 3 of these. You don't want your chest to slump over. You don't want them to land on their heels, right? You want to see total body control and balance. And then I progress this to a snap down to a side jump in each direction by 3. Then you can go a snap down to a rocket jump, right? To a broad jump. You got 3 perfect landings. They're all controlled. I like to do those for 3 reps. And like this takes 6 to 8 weeks with athletes, right? We don't have to rush to boxes. Okay, they don't have to rush to a workout. I like to progress this. So you go from just their own body weight, right? Just going to air. I like to go to a bumper plate, so maybe 3 inches, then to 2 plates, which is 6 inches. Then you get to 3 bumper plates, which is 9 inches, and then finally you can get to a 12-inch box. But this takes maybe a couple months. Okay. Bigger kids, you don't want them depth falling off of anything. Maybe 3 inches at the most. Okay, just to protect their knees and their joints. When you get to boxes, I'll make a different video on boxes, but it's pretty much the same stuff. I just like to do that progression. So we'll do a depth fall, snap down from a 12-inch box, back into what I just talked about, to a rocket jump, right, to a rocket sideways jump in both directions, to a broad jump, right? And then you can start doing a lot of stuff with that 12-inch box. I don't ever go over a 12-inch box, right? There's no, get rid of the ego, especially for this age group. They can stand at the side of the box, jump sideways onto the box, snap down, and from there you can be as creative as you want to be. You just got to watch the jumping, especially on young kids. Man, years ago I got the numbers on this, but like for high school kids, they got about 500 quality jumps, but only 200 of them can be hard. 300 of them should be easy. So like you got to think about, like, even in the warm up, those pogo jumps that we're doing, any skips or any of that stuff is all considered jumps, right? So when you start doing this stuff, especially these depth falls, keep the volume low, and you can add a little bit each week. And then as the intensity gets higher, meaning if the box gets higher, you can keep that started out low, and then you can add. But I wouldn't have. So if you're writing this down, right, and you're writing out a program, look at your jumps, right? How many touches do your kids have each week? And make sure, especially at middle school JV, I know I said like 500 for the older athletes. I'd keep it around 300 and maybe make 100 of those hard and make 200 of those easy. Okay? Just so you can protect them and keep them moving. Again, remember what I said. The dynamic warm-up is going to be a strength movement. These kids are undertrained. They've never trained before, right? That's going to be kind of a strength movement. The sprinting is definitely going to be a lower body strength movement. Okay. This jumping is going to be, we want it to be powerful, but it's going to be a strength movement. Everything these kids do is going to be based in strength. So if I'll do more in-depth videos on all this stuff, I'm just kind of giving you a general rundown. And just for time, and so we can move on. When I look at throws, slam ball throws are pretty much, do I have it written down somewhere? I use slam balls. Yeah, throws. I like 5-pound slam balls, maybe a 10-pound slam ball. It's really good rotational work. I like 3 rotational throws into a wall for 3 sets, go in each direction. You can go overhead, you can go chest, you can go standing, skipping, or stepping from a knee, right? throw standing. You can throw from one knee. You can throw from both knees. I love a 5-pound or 10-pound slam ball for power cleans from the floor, learning that triple extension. Right, that's a great movement you can teach kids, and it gets them kind of into an Olympic movement without being in an Olympic movement. Uh, as the kids get stronger and older, I like to make the jumping and the throws and the heavy carries like more part of a more robust warm up. So all this kind of goes into all the stuff that I've mentioned into like the dynamic warm up. The dynamic warm up shrinks as they get older, right? And the more the warm up, the workout is the warm up, right? I heard that from it was a great quote. Where were we at? I think we were at Georgia at a football clinic, but their strength and conditioning coach was unbelievable. And I agreed with a lot of what he said. And he also does a lot of sled stuff that I believe in too for all populations. I got one girl working on a sled right now. But for the slam ball power cleans, I love the 4x3, 4 sets of 3 reps. I love that for if we go back and we talk about the jumping, I like 4 sets of 3, right? And you can do that for many different avenues. And then finally, I guess I got one more thing here. One more thing I'd love to add is an agility circuit or a COD circuit, change of direction circuit. Each training day, I like an agility drill or COD drill. Do not overcomplicate this. Simple cone drills, a pro agility drill. You can set up a curved rope with dots and they can chase each other. Something to get them moving in different directions. I love a box drill. I love using dots, like I said before, as like low hurdles, okay? It's something, you want to use something that kind of encompasses what you're trying to teach, okay? And right now, I'm just talking general. So this all fits general training for these athletes, okay? But if you get closer to a season, you want to change the drill to like actual, like a skill that they're going to use, okay? I like a box drill that is a sprint, decelerate, and side shuffle, wide base, right? So if this was my box drill, it'd be a sprint, right? Decelerate to a side shuffle, right? Wide feet, don't let your heels touch, to a back pedal, to a turn and sprint to finish it, right? I forgot to mention, I think in the other videos, everything should be on a timer and you just tell the kids the time. You don't have to write any of this crap down, right? I mean, later on, if you want to use some metrics. So the metrics I use are, I will write down a broad jump. I will write down a pro agility time. I will write down, it's a standing broad jump. I will write down a high jump. So max vert. What else? And anything else like I kind of want to keep track of. But those are the big 3, right? If those are getting better, the kids are getting stronger. And then just have them keep their own time. And these kids get competitive, right? They all want to beat each other. I know that was a lot, and I kind of threw a lot in at the end, but I kind of want to get into the strength. I'll do the full body, upper body, pull, push, and full body, lower body, or the full lower body, pull, push that I do for the 2 days a week training in the next video. It's a lot of information. If you need any help or if you want to get through the weeds, make comments on something that you want me to talk about, okay, in any of these videos. Go back and be like, hey, we want to learn more about this, or how would you program this, or what's this look like? All right, if you need help, please reach out and let me know. Remember, being strong is never wrong.